Okay, folks, today is November 11th, 2020 at 3:52 p.m. and I'm making this video because I'm healthy and strong and I have a pending U.S. Supreme Court case in the United States Supreme Court that we're trying to fight that revolves around espionage, spying, illegal eavesdropping and wiretapping, and our civil rights, Fourth Amendment rights. And if it doesn't get heard, then our privacy is going to be violated. Here's a U.S. Supreme Court case number 19-1289. It says, in the Supreme Court of the United States, George Andrew Benavides, petitioner, versus United States Attorney General William Barr, ETA, respondents, on a petition for writ certiorari to United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. Petition for writ certiorari, okay, was filed in the Supreme Court. If you open up the Supreme Court book, it's going to tell you who's part of the lawsuit. United States President Donald Trump, United States Attorney General William Barr, United States Attorney General John Bash from San Antonio, Texas, Office of Naval Inspector General, United States Federal Bureau of Investigations, United States Department of Justice, United States Department of Veteran Affairs, United States Department of Defense. These people are all involved in the lawsuit, because they all had a duty to investigate my life. Investigate the spying, illegal eavesdropping, wiretapping, torture that was going on during a time of war, during my service in the United States Marine Corps. Okay. I also have a book full of information here. It's got a lot of information. It's got a lot of documents on federal officials, federal judges, who were part of the conspiracy to deny me the right to due process of the law, the right to help me, to stop all this crime and terrorism that's going on. You know, FBI's letters in there, all this information here. And it's right here. You can get that here. Let me see if you can get that bar in there closer. Let me see if I can get a good picture of that. There you are. Here's the book. Okay. The book is devastating. A lot of evidence, a lot of information, because I want you to see that. I want you to see the facts that the government has used me as an illegal experiment. An illegal experiment. Okay? And we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. And this is made for people that are used as illegal experiments. If you remember here recently, President Donald Trump awarded a black African man to a general because he was part of an illegal experiment where they injected the black African man with syphilis during his time in the service in the military. So President Trump promoted him to general. Also, the Ancient Orange, the veterans of Ancient Orange, that were used experiment by Dow Chemicals and Diamond Shamrock, who paid a hefty price for experimenting on the Vietnam vets. Crop dust in the field with these chemicals, causing birth defects, causing skin disorders. We know what happened. We know the government experimented on people illegally, without due process of the law, without federal probable cause, without your consent. Okay, 1993, while I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps, I walked over to the MEP station and I enlisted. During that time, the Department of Defense, the Department of the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Department of Federal Bureau of Investigations had a legal duty to inspect my background, to check my background, to make sure that I was fit mentally and physically to join the Marines. They probably went to the Department of Motor Vehicles for the state of Texas. They probably went to the city of San Antonio to get records from 1993 to 1998 when I was discharged. They looked at all my background. I took a piss test, a drug test, and I passed it. And I was fit to join the Marine Corps. They allowed me to join in, so I joined in. I enlisted, right? But they never told me that I was going to be an experiment, that I was going to broadcast my mind to society, to the government, and to the enemy for the rest of my goddamn life. Why didn't they do that? Instead, during a routine dental work at MCRD, Marine Corps Recruit Depot Station in California, San Diego, they illegally eavesdropped and wiretapped and spied on me by inserting a chip during a routine dental procedure back on 1994. while under the knife of a naval dental officer. I was injected with anesthetics so they can operate and cut into my gums to implant a chip used to broadcast to spy on me during my time in the Marine Corps. And it still goes on. From 1994 to this present day, 2020, the year 2020, the year November 7, 2020, they continue to spy on me, torture me, and illegally violate my civil rights. Why? So, what we have here is we have a complaint. And the first complaint is that they have taken me from other Marines, segregated me, used me as an experiment, they're broadcasting my mind to society and to the enemy during a time of war, which is called discrimination. Why did they discriminate? What was so important about me that you choose only me to experiment me on during a time of war? So, they discriminated against me. They only chose me as an experiment and not everybody. Why? Can you answer that question? That's question number one. Why did you discriminate against me while serving in the U.S. Marine Corps? And why didn't it stop when I was honorably discharged in 1998? And we'll get to that, okay? All right. So, as I went to the Naval Dentist at MCRD, California, MCRD, Marine Corps Recruit, San Diego, California, the Naval Dentist committed assault and battery. Why did he commit assault and battery? Because he didn't have a consent to illegally eavesdrop, wiretap me, and implant me. He didn't have consent from a judge to spy on me, to track me, to torture me during my career in the military. He didn't have consent. He didn't have consent, probable cause, or my consent to spy on me. Why? Why? Due process of a law, people, where is it at? Where is the court order? We want to see the court order that you used to spy on me from 1994 to this present date, November 7, 2020. How long have you been watching me, spying on me, collecting evidence without a federal court order? How long? How long have the cameras been rolling on me? Since 1994 to this present date. What information do you have on me? Let's open it up to the people. This is in the best interest of the American people, of the taxpayers. Let them see what's going on. So, that's just questions and answers that I want to address to you, Mr. Federal Judge. You, Mr. Supreme Court Justice. You, Mr. FBI Agent. You, Mr. Justice of Office of Inspector General, DOD. Answer the question. Why? Why was I the chosen one? Anyway, as life continued in the Marine Corps, I was being tortured and I was being neglected, been kicked aside to not go into special operations. And I don't know why. I mean, why would you go to special operations if they are watching you, tracking you, and torturing you and expose your life to the enemy, to society? Why would you get on a fucking ship and sail the sea to a foreign land, to an enemy land, they knowing that you're coming? Why would you do that? Why would you sail sea with somebody that is broadcasting the information to the enemy? Why? Questions that have to be answered. Okay? So, next point is that, as this was going on, I was getting bypassed by the Marines. And I understand the Marines' defense. This guy is broadcasting his life to society, to the enemy. Why in the fuck would I want him to go to special operations? Why would I want to put him in special operations? Putting the lives and jeopardies of the Marine Corps. They're smart. So I understand how I was getting bypassed through all that stuff, man. It's a crime, man. And I respect that from the Marine Corps. But let's leave it up to the Navy. They have to answer these questions, okay? Not the Marine Corps. So, when I was discharged back in 1998, before that, my job was a mortarman. I didn't have any special clearance. I didn't have any secret job in the Marines. I was dressed as basically a mortarman, being that when you're a mortarman, you have to calculate projectiles to use in a combat battle, to mark for war, to mark for air, to mark for targets. I wasn't in special operations, man. I wasn't a sneaker on sneaking on people. I didn't have that kind of job. I didn't require that. So during my time in the Marine Corps, I was bypassed to special ops and everything else. And it was because of the Marine Corps' defense, and I respect that from all the generals. Thank you very much. But it's up to the Navy to answer this. So when I was honorably discharged in 1998 with an honorable discharge little certificate, the Navy had a duty. They give you a check sheet. They said, okay, come by and check off. You know, you need to give the government back all your property. And for all you veterans out there who know what final discharge is, you know, you go and you get our checkout sheet, okay? He gave me back his canteen, his woolly pulley, his combat boots, his tent, his rifle. We all checked that in. Why didn't they take back all the government from spying devices used on me? Why didn't they stop the spying? You know, my career ended. Why don't you stop the spying? You know? So they didn't do that. So here I am. From 1998 to this present time, I'm being spied on, tracked and tortured. For what? For 25 goddamn years, I've been falsely imprisoned, spied on, tracked and tortured by the government, and they don't have the balls to come to court and testify. So they're trying to kill me with a satellite weapon so they won't fess up. Now, when I ended my career and I was going into the private sector, trying to give back to service to my community, so you know. I went in there. I went in to use my, and I was disgusted at this because this is not fair. I mean, what would you do if you're in my shoes? You're going to find answers. You want to know why this is happening. So I take my complaint. I write up a petition. I walk over to the United States District Court for the Western District in San Antonio, Texas. And I go and I file my complaint, and the judge presiding was Judge Prado, who was a judge in the Western District of Texas. And I said, sir, this is what's happening to me. It's the year May 12, 2000. I filed my petition. I said, Judge, this is what's happening. I'm being tracked, stalked, and tortured. I'm being abused by the government. Can you stop these crimes? No, man, get out of this courtroom, man. Get out of here, man. You know, hell no, this ain't going on. Get out of here. So, I was okay. I must be insane. So I take my goddamn petition, walk over to the VA, say, hey, man, the judge says that this is not going on, that I'm fucking nuts. So from my military career to this present time, I am nuts. They are not tracking me, they are not torturing me, and they're not spying on me. I am not broadcasting my mind, my privacy to society, to the enemy. You are not reading my mind. You are not gathering information illegally. From 1994 to this present date, November 7, 2020, you are not gathering information from my mind illegally to use against me. It's not happening. So the VA says, no, man, it's not happening. The United States Department of Veteran Affairs. No, man, it's not happening. They are not tracking you. They're not spying on you. They're not torturing you. We're going to give you 100% and call you delusional schizophrenia. That I am broadcasting my ideas to society for you to intercept illegally without the right of due process of the law, without the right of probable cause, without the right of a federal court order. You're intercepting what I'm thinking to use against me for whatever reason without my consent. From 1994 to this date, November 7, 2020. Why is that? Why is that you don't recognize that? That you want to pay me 100% because this is not true. We're not torturing Americans. We're not spying on Americans. We're not tracking Americans. It's not true. We're not reading your mind. It's not true. We're going to give you 100% disability because it's not happening. No, we're lying. It's not happening. We're going to call you insane. We're going to medicate you. We're going to take away your Second Amendment rights to protection. Because when you're a disabled veteran with the psychological disorder from the military, they take away your Second Amendment rights, your right to protection, the right to bear arms. So they compensate me and they kick me out with no protection. It's acceptable to terrorism. It's acceptable to fucking whatever kind of environment's out there, right? You take that right away from me. You medicate me, wrongfully diagnose me. You call me insane, you wrongfully diagnose me, and then you commit bribe to keep a crime quiet. Okay? I mean, this is fucked up. So, as life goes on, I'm building up this case from the year 2000 to 2020. I build up this case and evidence. I walk into the Congress's office. So I go into my computer and I type in, who represents me? And I put in my zip code. And it comes up, here's your state representatives. And the representative that was representing was Charles Gonzalez. I said, sir, they're spying on me, tracking me, and to torture me. Well, all I can do, and he did his due diligence. He did what a congressman should do, which is submit a congressional inquiry to the Navy. He says, I have my constituent here. He wants to make a complaint that you guys are doing this. The Navy says, hell no, we're not spying on this guy, man. We're not tracking him. We're not torturing him. He's crazy. Okay, so I walk out of his office. He did what he can do. That's all he can do. All he can do is submit an inquiry. It's up to the Navy to answer, and they answered him falsely. They said, no, we're not tracking him. We're not torturing him. We're not spying on him. So I walk out of there. Thank you, Mr. Congressman. Thank you very much. I walk out of there, walk to the VA, and they compensate me. So I start my researching. And I come up to this website. I come up to the website and I type in Derek Robinson. Who is Derek Robinson? Derek Robinson created a website because Derek Robinson was a former Navy employee. He was a former NSA employee, National Security Intelligence Agency. And he was being targeted, tracked, and tortured. Just like many of us are right now. And I will discuss that later on because I want to present you the hard evidence, hard facts. And I'm talking to you, Mr. Federal Judge, U.S. Supreme Court Justices, the FBI, the CIA, NSA, the Department of Justice, OIG, Office of Inspector General, Department of Veteran Affairs. This is for you because I want you to sit there and analyze this. This is nothing but the facts, hard facts. You can't deny this. Okay? You can't deny the facts. So I talked to Derek Robinson. He says, yeah, I have a website. So I look up his website. It was freedomfromcovertharassmentandsurveillance.com. So I go on the website, Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance, and I start looking up, and sure enough, it says veterans are being tortured, Americans are being tortured. They're being tracked by the government. This is back in 2000. 20 years later, I'm gathering evidence, gathering information. Derek goes, man, we are being targeted. We're being tracked. I know. I was in the Navy. I was in NASA, a former NASA, NSA operative. I know that. I'm a victim. They're torturing me. They're tracking me, and trying to kill me. I said, okay, Derek. You've gained my trust because I presented my argument to the VA. I presented my argument to a federal judge. I presented my argument to a congressman, and they've lied to the congressman. The VA is hiding a conspiracy, and the judge is hiding a conspiracy. Okay? He says, okay, all we can do is just build evidence. So he did. Sooner or later, about 5 months later, they closed down Derek's site. www.freedomfromcovertharassment.com. www.freedomfromcovertharassmentandsurveillance.com. They closed down his site because they didn't like Derek. They didn't like the fact that Derek was presenting evidence that American veterans and Americans are being tracked, targeted, and tortured. So what did they do? They shut down his site. The tech giants. This is back in 2000. Excuse my language, but Derek says, fuck you. I'm going to move forward. So Derek and a bunch of lawyers gathered up and they built another website. And I'm going to give it to you right now. That website is called www.pactsntl.org. Open up the nice website, and what are you going to see? It says, People Against Covert Torture and Surveillance International. This is a former Navy employee. This is a former NSA employee. This wasn't an idiot, man. So Derek gained my trust. He said, George, they are torturing Americans with satellite weapons and electronic harassment. How do you defend yourself, Derek? You can't. These weapons are designed to penetrate concrete. They're designed to penetrate your roof, your ceiling, to go through concrete, wood, anything to get you. It's a heat-seeking microwave energy weapon that will penetrate anything to get to you. And it will kill you. It will cause headaches, heartaches, heart attacks, muscle tremors, muscle spasms, neurological dysfunction, illegal movement of bowel movements, neuropathy. It'll cause wrongful diagnosis. It'll cause holes in your skin, your flesh, burning of your skin, your flesh, severe sunburn, eye twitching, choking, asphyxiation, choking to death, popping of the ears. It does all this. I'm like, holy cow, Derek. Write it all down. I need that information. Give me all the information you got. So I did. I said, okay, I know exactly where I'm going to. I'm going to the FBI. So in 2000, I called up the FBI. I said, hey, I am a targeted individual. I'm being targeted, tracked, and tortured. Oh, man, fuck, you're insane, man. Get out of here. It's not happening. What? Here's Derek's information. www.freedom from covert harassment and surveillance. Here's the information. No, you're nuts, man. You're nuts now. Right here in San Antonio, Texas. The FBI in San Antonio, Texas. This is back in 2000. Okay? No, you're nuts, man. Call your local police. Call my local police. Sir, come on out here. I'm being tracked and tortured by exotic weapons. Have you taken your medicine? Are you a veteran? Are you taking your medicine? What? You're not going to believe me that they're tracking torturers? No, we don't believe you. You're insane. Okay? You want to call it what it is. So, I made a police report with the San Antonio Police Department. I made reports with the FBI and with Congress. And as I'm gathering this evidence here, I'm continuing to find more information. Derek goes, hey, I just came up with some information. I came up with a doctor in San Antonio. I said, a doctor in San Antonio is being targeted? He goes, yeah. Look up Dr. John Hall. So I go and I type in Dr. John Hall. He is a practicing anesthesiologist. Certified Board of Texas anesthesiologist. He puts people to sleep to operate on them. Why would a doctor like that be targeted? Here we go. Dr. John Hall is a true doctor practicing anesthesiologist in San Antonio. He wrote a book called, and I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm giving you hard facts. Dr. John Hall, his book is called New Breed of Satellite Terrorism in America. A new breed, and I'm going to make it perfect to you. His book is called A New Breed, Satellite Terrorism in America by Dr. John Hall. You can buy it on Amazon right now. Dr. John Hall wrote a second book called The Guinea Pigs. You can buy that on Amazon. Dr. John Hall said, hey, you know what? Go ahead and contact me on Facebook. I got information on Facebook. So I followed Dr. John Hall on Facebook. He's on Facebook. And then Dr. John Hall says, you know what? I'm a targeted individual. I've been a targeted individual for a long time. My girlfriend's been a targeted individual. I have contacts from the FBI. I have contacts from the CIA that can prove this is going on. My father's in SAPD. He knows what's going on. And I'm set to testify. At the Presidential Bioethics Commission. I said, really? He says, yeah, I'm going to testify in front of the Presidential Bioethics Commission. I said, well, good luck, doctor. I'd like to read your report when you get that. So I got the report back. He's on YouTube. Dr. John Hall. He's on YouTube. And if you go on YouTube and you type in Dr. John Hall, Dr. John Hall, targeted individual. Dr. John Hall, bioethics. Okay? Look at the video. If you go on YouTube, it's labeled Targeted Individuals Plus Dr. John Hall testifying Presidential Commission Bioethics Commission Committee of MK Ultra. Okay? Watch that video. Dr. John Hall did testify in front of the Presidential Bioethics Commission. Okay? He is a doctor. He's not a dummy. So, as I gather all Dr. John Hall's information, I was talking to him for a while. He said, you know what? You may want to look at Dr. Robert Duncan and Jesse Ventura on YouTube. So I typed in Dr. John Hall and Jesse Ventura. And sure enough, I came up with Dr. Robert Duncan, who stated that, yes, I helped build this project. I know how it's working. We are attacking Americans. We're attacking them with these electronic devices and satellite weapons. Okay? You can find him on YouTube. He also wrote a book, and I'm going to give you the book of Dr. Robert Duncan. Dr. Robert Duncan wrote a book called Project Soul Catcher. Project Soul Catcher. Okay, it's called it's Project Soul Catcher. It's called Secrets of Cyber and Cybernetic Warfare. Okay, it was published back in 2010. Titled Dr. Robert Duncan. You can buy that on Amazon. As I gathered all this information and evidence through Derek Robinson, Dr. John Hall, and Dr. Robert Duncan, I was presenting this back to the FBI via emails because it was the fastest way to get to the FBI. So they can examine it right away. Boom, boom, boom. Here's the information. Here's the evidence. Examine it. During this time, I went back. I said, man, look, man, this is happening. Here's the evidence, man. Are you nuts? Why are you calling me nuts? Are you nuts? Americans are being attacked. We're under attack by goddamn satellites. Electronic harassment. Oh, you're fucking crazy. Okay, motherfucker, here we go. I'm building my case. From 2000 to this date, I'm building my case. Telling the FBI. Telling George W. Bush. I wrote George W. Bush. I said, sir, I am being illegally eavesdropped, spied on, and tortured by the government. I sent the White House letter to George W. Bush. Sir, I am being tortured. I'm being tracked. And what did they do? I don't even receive a thank you letter from the White House from George W. Bush, man. I said, what the fuck, man? Here's a CIA, here's a doctor, here's a Navy employee, NSA employee, and you don't believe what the fuck is going on? What is it going to take? So, as I begin to build more information and more into my case, I'm becoming for certain now, I'm assured now in my mind that we're being tracked and tortured. And I've been to doctors and they're saying, man, they're attacking me, they're causing pain. I'll go to the ER, man, I'll run tests, man, you're fine, man. Are you sure that hypochondriac? Hypochondriac? Motherfucker, we're being attacked and tortured. Here's the information. Well, I don't need to see that. The reason why doctors don't want to see that now because they know it'll hurt them. To know that the government is creating these false symptoms, medical symptoms, to kill Americans. That's why they don't want to see the evidence. No. I don't want to see that. Okay, fine. So, go to doctors, go to nurses, go to ERs to clarify, to call you hypochondriac. What the fuck are you talking about? We're being tortured. Okay, let's go somewhere else. So I go to the FBI again. I'm submitting evidence online, email, and the only way I can get this information to people who are supposed to be investigating, which is the FBI. Time's going on. George Bush goes on. He ignores the complaint. Barack Obama comes in the office now, and Joe Biden and Barack Obama comes in the office. FBI's got a new chain of command. Eric Holder's in town. Make a complaint with every whole Department of Justice. Hey, man, here's the evidence. Dr. Robert Duncan, Dr. John Hall, Derek Robinson, here's the websites. We're being tortured. Being tortured. Americans are being killed. They're being tortured, targeted with satellite weapons. And what does he do? No, man, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. Keep on collecting that 100% pension, man. We're having a good time killing Americans over here. This is Eric Holder from the Department of Justice. This is the FBI. 2000 to 2020, here we are, building a case. So I go back to Congressman. I type in my zip code because somebody else comes in the action. So I type in my zip code, who represents me? 78252. Hey, Congressman Will Hurd. Holy shit, Will Hurd. damn, this guy means business. He's a former CIA operative. He is a U.S. congressman representing my area. Hey, Congressman Will Hurd. Hey, Congressman Will Hurd. Congressman Will Hurd, will you represent me? And what does Congressman Will Hurd do? What does Congressman Will Hurd do? What does Congressman Will Hurd do? Congressman Will Hurd, I had to get out there. Congressman Will Hurd, come on in, have a seat. What do you want to talk about? Well, Congressman, my civil rights have been violated. They're legally spying on me. They're legally torturing me. And they're trying to cover up a conspiracy. Okay, so I grabbed all the evidence, Dr. Robert Duncan, Dr. John Hall, Derek Robinson. I grab all the information and I give it to Will Hurd. I give it to Will Hurd. Okay, I give it to Congressman Will Hurd. All right, and I said, look, now, Mr. Will Hurd, here's the facts. Americans are being tracked, targeted, and tortured. Who will investigate this? I've been illegally implanted. They're tracking me. They're stalking me, and they're torturing me. What can you do for me? Well, he did the same thing what Congressman Gonzalez did. His due diligence. He did the same thing Congressman Gonzalez did. Typed up a letter, congressional inquiry, faxed it over to the Navy. Hey, are you tracking or spying on this guy? No, man, we're not doing that. We're not tracking him, spying him, and torturing him. No, we're not doing that. They lied to Congressman Will Hurd. These are two congressmen. Two congressmen. The deprivation of civil rights. You denied the right to congressman to investigate a civil rights complaint. That is a crime. Okay? We're asking him to investigate espionage, illegal eavesdropping, and wiretapping, what the Navy has done to me since 1994. Espionage, illegal eavesdropping and wiretapping, torturing, spying, tracking. At the same time, this is the beginning of the building of the tech giants, the monsters up there, who are tracking us, computers, smartphones. This is the beginning from 2000 to this decade. Okay? So all this information was given to these people. All right? As I'm collecting this evidence, I've been denied by Will Hurd. I'm still going to the VA. Hey, man, I'm being targeted and tortured every goddamn day. No, man, it's not happening. Get rid of the negative thoughts, man. Get rid of the negative thoughts. Get rid of the negative thoughts, man. We're being tracked. Here's the evidence. Investigate this, man. It's not happening, George. It's not happening. You're crazy. Okay. So as I build my case up, I go again, I contact the San Antonio Police Department, said, hey, man, I'm being targeted, tracked, and tortured right here. Here's my address, man. They're torturing me, trying to kill me. I can't sleep at night. No, man, all we can do is make a report, man, but we can't be doing reports all the time. We're going to mentally detain you for saying this. So, the police department, the FBI won't do anything. Who's going to do something? Who is going to defend the American people? Okay? The Federal Bureau of Investigation's job is to investigate cyber attacks, domestic terrorism, cyber warfare. If I give you evidence of Dr. Robert Duncan, the former CIA, if I give you evidence of Dr. John Hall, if I give you evidence of Derek Robinson, the NSA employee, the Navy employee, and you don't investigate that to hide a conspiracy, you're aiding and abetting a crime. Okay? So, the FBI, call them up, email them, hey, man, stop torturing, man. So it's the FBI. They don't want to hear this, man. They keep on, torturing me. Because I call their office and the torturing continues, but rapidly now. It's continuously now. To torture me and track me. So there is no defense to satellite weapons. What do we have? We have fighting words, right? I'm being coerced to act. If I went to the police department, I went to the FBI, who's going to investigate this? I've written George W. Bush. I've written President Barack Obama. Who is going to defend this? Who's going to do it? No one. What do you have left? Fighting words. You have to drag this to the courtroom. How are you going to get in there? What's your self-defense? What's your fighting words? Contacted the FBI. Hey, man, stop torturing me, man, okay? Stop torturing me. You guys want to investigate? Stop torturing me. It's increasing because I made a complaint. Stop torturing me. Oh, you're fucking nuts, man. Fuck you. You're nuts. Look, man, we are being tortured. No, fuck you. You're nuts, man. You're nuts. What do you mean I'm nuts? Investigate this. Fuck you. Click. It happened continuously again. Hey, stop torturing me. You're nuts, man. You're nuts. Click. Hey, stop torturing me. So it got to where, I'm being coerced to contact the FBI because the FBI is not doing anything. And they swore to protect the American people. So from 2000 to 2020, from the year 2000 to 2020, all this information was given to Joe Biden, to President Barack Obama during their presidency, and they failed to do anything about this. Okay? So the FBI goes, hey, I contact the sheriff's department. And what he said is that, they filed charges for harassment. They filed charges against me for harassment. So I went to spend time in jail. I said, okay, at least I have my chance to show the judge that we are being tortured, coerced to act. When the FBI won't investigate, when the president won't investigate, when the police won't investigate, they won't believe you. So all I have is fighting words, in which the Constitution says I have the right to protect myself, right? I'm not using firearms, but I have the right to defend myself. If you have the right to defend yourself with a weapon, why can't you defend yourself with a weapon right here? It's the same damn concept, man. You're trying to kill me with a fucking satellite. Why can't I use my fighting words to defend myself under the Constitution? Yeah, it doesn't have any ammo. I can't spit bullets at you, but goddamn, I can sure drag your ass to court to explain to the damn judge what the hell's going on behalf of the American people. So anyway, so I get thrown in jail, spend a couple of days in jail, and waiting for my right to due process of the law, and finally they appoint an attorney to me, and hey, they're gonna appoint a psychologist. So I go into the psychologist and I said, hey, the judge appoints the psychologist, and she says, come on in the room. So I sit down there to talk to the psychologist. I said, hey, what's going on? I said, I'm being tortured. I'm being stalked by satellite weapons, and I'm being tracked and tortured, spied on. Why do you say that? I said, well, I've documented this. I went to the mayor of San Antonio. I went to Mayor Ivy Taylor, the mayor of San Antonio, and I presented all the evidence to her. Dr. Robert Duncan and Jesse Ventura, Dr. John Hall, Derek Robinson, PAX International. I gave her all the information. No, man, we're not going to have it. No, they ignored me. I told the psychologist. I gave him the websites. I gave him all this information. And she looked at the website and said, oh my God, that's all I had to say. Then they came back, and the FBI never showed up to court for harassment. Plus, they filed charges in the goddamn county court for harassment. Why didn't you file charges in the goddamn federal courtroom?